Welcome friends to Education Tricks 99. Before going further, I will introduce myself. My name is Sachin Gakhad, and I did my Master of Pharmacy in Pharmaceutical Quality Assurance. I also did post graduation diploma in Pharmaceutical Regulatory Affairs, and I am from Delhi. Coming to the course interview, course overview, like what we learn in this video. In this video, we will learn drug development approval process, like what is regulatory affairs and what are the different roles and responsibilities of the regulatory affairs professional, like what are the different functions the regulatory affair professionals do. Okay, and then regulatory authorities of different countries, like there are different countries for there are different regulatory authorities for different countries. Like for Europe, there is a EMEA, which is European Medicine Evaluation Agency. For there is a US FDA. So we will learn one by one, and there will be we will discuss the Orange Book. What is Orange Book? What is ICH? And what is 180-day exclusivity? Okay, then we will learn basic terminologies like generic drug product, IND, NDA, ANDA, and then there will be potential US regulatory pathways, like what are the different potential US regulatory pathways. And then there will be the DMF and its types. And then we will learn top types of ANDA filing, like what are the different types of ANDA filing. Then we will learn CTD and its modules. Then we will learn marketing authorization application, like what is marketing authorization application. It is basically for Europe market. And then we will learn active substance master file. Then we will learn marketing authorization procedure for pharmaceutical in Europe, like what is marketing authorization procedure. And then we will learn procedures for drug approval in Europe, like how the drug is approved in Europe via different types of procedures. Then we will learn different between the NDA and ANDA, which is new drug application and abbreviated new drug application. So coming to the first topic, drug development and approval process. So basically the first step for the drug development is basic research and target discovery. Like we should know about what is our target so that we can develop our product. Okay, and after that there will be the drug discovery. Then the third step is the preclinical testing, where we can investigate our drug in an animal study. So that is preclinical testing. Then after the preclinical testing, we have to submit the IND application, which is investigational new drug application. And this IND application is reviewed by FDA, which is a regulatory authority of US. So after this reviewing of this IND by FDA, if FDA approves that IND, so only then we can conduct a clinical trial. So this clinical trial is basically, there are different types of clinical trials, like it is conduct on human. So four phases of clinical trials are there, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. So phase 1 clinical trial is basically conducted on a healthy volunteers, and it is basically for to know about the side effects and the dosage of a drug. Okay, and then phase 2 trial is conducted on a 20 to 100 people, which is patients. Okay, so and then it is also used to determine the efficacy of a drug product. Then there will be the phase 3. It is conducting on a larger population for determining the long term efficacy of a drug product. And then there will be the phase 4 trial, which is also called as post marketing authorization. It is also conducting for us to determine the safety and efficacy of a drug product. So then after the conducting of the clinical trials, we will submit the NDA submission, which is new drug application submission, and it is also reviewed by FDA. So after this reviewing by FDA, if the FDA authorize that particular new drug application, only then the manufacturing or marketing of drug is applicable. Okay, if the FDA doesn't approve that particular NDA submission, so we don't have a authority to manufacture that particular drug. So this is all about the drug development process. Now coming to the very important topic, regulatory affairs. Okay, see friends, these topic is very important for interview point of view. Okay, so we you have to discuss, you have to learn this terminologies, and you have to understand, okay, like what is regulatory affair. It will help you in your future also, like in your career also, like you will understand like what is regulatory affair, like what are the different roles, so that you can choose your career at a very best level, right? So what is regulatory affair? So regulatory affair is basically in the pharmaceutical industry, we can say a regulatory affairs is a profession that acts as the interface between the pharmaceutical industry and the drug regulatory authorities in the world. Okay, so basically it acts as an interface between the pharmaceutical industry and the drug regulatory authorities in the world. So it is mainly involved in the registration of a drug product before the marketing in respective countries. Okay, so like if the drug product is registered in particular country, only then the product is marketing. The product will be marketing. Okay, then coming to roles and responsibilities of regulatory affairs professional, like what are the different functions of the regulatory affairs professional, like what they will do in that particular domain. So on regulatory aspects, we can say RA professional advises the company. Okay, like they advises the company as per the guidelines, and they prepare INDA, which is investigational new drug application, NDA, which is new drug application, ANDA, which is abbreviated new drug application, MAA, which is marketing authorization application, DMF is drug master file. So according to the guidelines, they prepare and compile. Then RA professional also ensures adherence and compliance with all applicable guidelines, regulations such as ICH, CGMP, which is good manufacturing, current good manufacturing practices, then GLP, which is good laboratory practices, then GCP, which is good clinical practices guidelines. So according to these guidelines, the RA professional ensure the adherence and compliance. Then there will be also they do life cycle management of that drug products, like they will also file the variations, like after the post marketing, so post marketing variations they will file. And apart from that, there are also other functions of the RA professionals. So coming to the regulatory authorities of the different countries, like what are the different regulatory authorities of a different countries. So for USA, I already told you, the United States Food and Drug Administration. For UK, it is Medicines and Healthcare Product Regulatory Agency, which is sorry, MHRA. Then for Europe, it is European Medicines Evaluation Agency, which is EMEA. For Australia, the regulatory authority is Therapeutic Goods Administration, which is also called as TGA. Then Brazil, so Brazil is for Anvisa. ठीक है, we can see Anvisa is Agencia Nacional de Vigilancia Sanitaria. So in China, the regulatory authority is State Food and Drug Administration. Japan, Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, MHLW. So these are the very important regulatory authorities. So in spite of this, there are other regulatory authorities also. So now coming to INDA. What is INDA? So INDA is Investigational New Drug Application. So it is an application which is to get approval for conducting a human clinical trial. So I already told you in the drug development process, like for conducting a human clinical trial, we have to file IND, which is Investigational new drug application, and it is also for shipping of experimental drugs usually to clinical investigators. We also have to file the IND. Okay, and it is filed with FDA, which is US FDA, the regulatory authority of US. And sorry, so there are three types of IND applications, right? First is investigator IND, the second one is treatment IND, and the third one is emergency use IND. What is investigator IND? Investigator IND is basically submitted by a physician, like the physician initiates and conduct the investigational study of that particular experimental drug. Then the treatment IND. Treatment IND is basically filed with the FDA for serious or a life-threatening condition, right? If there is any serious or life-threatening condition, and if the experimental drug is promising, like for to use to use in a particular disease, so the FDA will review that IND, and they will authorize FDA will authorize the use of that particular IND in the serious or life-threatening condition. Then there will be the emergency use IND. So as the name suggests, emergency. So basically, emergency use IND is basically filed with the FDA in an emergency condition. Okay, the experimental drug, or we can say the investigational drug, is used in that particular emergency situation. So it is also authorized by FDA. Then coming to NDA. So NDA is basically new drug application. Okay, so it is an application which is filed with the FDA to market a new pharmaceutical drug products for sale in the USA. Okay, so it is a application which is filed with FDA to market a new pharmaceutical drug product, okay, for sale in the USA. So this application includes animal studies as well as human clinical trial. Okay, so this applications includes animal studies as well as human clinical trials of an investigational new drug. So what is generic drug product? So a generic drug product is that which is comparable to the innovator drug product. Okay, so a generic product is should be comparable to innovator drug product in terms of dosage form, like it should be the same dosage form, the same route of administration, and quality, strength, performance, and intended use. It should be same as compared to innovator drug. Okay, only then we can say it is a generic drug product, because generic drug product is a copy of the innovator drug product, right? Now coming to the potential US regulatory pathways. So like what are the different regulatory pathways? So there are three pathways by which we can market our product, like 505J ANDA, 505B2 NDA, and 505B1 NDA. So what is 505J ANDA? 505J ANDA is basically for that products that are same as approved products. Okay, I already told you ANDA is basically for a generic drug product. Okay, so these application is filed with FDA for the products which are similar to that products which is already approved in that particular country. Okay, then 505B2 NDA. So this is hybrid. First we will let you know. I will let you know the 505B1 NDA. What is 505B1 NDA? So 505B1 NDA is a full application, new drug application, which is the data obtained from the sponsor conducted studies. Okay, and this 505B2 NDA is a hybrid, like between 505J ANDA and 505B1 full NDA. Okay, so these are the three regulatory pathways in the US. Then coming to the drug master file. So drug master file comes under the Code of Federal Regulation 314.420 Okay, so 21 CFR, which is Code of Federal Regulation. So it is a submission to the FDA which provides the confidentially detailed information. Okay, so it is a submission to the FDA which provides the confidentially detailed information about what? About facilities, like different facilities, the process used for the manufacturing, the packaging, the storage of the drugs, and the chemistry control of drug products or a component of a drug product. Sorry. Now, so it is submitted to the FDA to support IND, NDA, ANDA, or another DMF or amendments and supplements to any of these. And it is not required when the applicant references its own information. Okay, please note that point. So if the applicant wants to reference its own information, so it is not required. Then non-CMC information may also be filed in drug master files. So see, what is CMC? CMC is basically the chemistry, manufacturing and control. Then coming to different types of drug master file. So there are 5 types of drug master file: type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 and type 5. So we will discuss one by one. The type 1 is basically for the manufacturing site, facilities, operating procedures and personals. Okay, and it is not longer accepted by the FDA. Then type 2 is basically for the drug substance intermediates and materials which are used in their preparation of that particular drug substance and drug substance intermediates or the drug product. Then type 3 is for packaging materials. Type 4 is for excipients, flavors, colorants, essence or materials which are used in their preparation. Then type 5 is the reference information which is accepted by the FDA, but FDA discourage its use. Okay. Then coming to a very important topic, ICH. So what is the full form of ICH? ICH is basically the International Council for Harmonization of the Technical Requirements for Pharmaceuticals for Human Use. Earlier it was International Conference, but now it is currently updated to International Council. So it is the International Council for Harmonization of Technical Requirements for Pharmaceuticals for Human Use. So basically, why the ICH is there for the regulations and all. So it bring together the 3 regulatory authorities of the countries like Europe, Japan, and United States, and pharmaceutical industries to discuss scientific and technical aspects of that pharmaceutical product registration. Okay, so there are 4 types of ICH guidelines. Okay, the number 1 is for quality, 2 for safety, 3 for efficacy, and 4 for multidisciplinary. So in short form, we can say QSEM. Now, then quality. So in the quality guidelines, so the it will discuss about the stability, like stability of the drug substance, drug product, then impurity testing, good manufacturing practices, what are the pharmaceutical development of that drug substance. Okay, so in the quality guidelines we will these are the parameters or the subtopics. Then there will be the safety guidelines. So in the safety guidelines, carcinogenicity, genotoxicity or reprotoxicity is given in that particular guidelines. In efficacy guidelines, the clinical trials and pharmacogenomics is discussed, and the various types of guidelines are there for the efficacy studies, safety and qualities, and multidisciplinary. So in multidisciplinary, there are other subtopics like other guidelines for MEDRA, CTD, electronic standards. So this is the 4 types of ICH guidelines. Now, what is approved drug products with therapeutic equivalence evaluation? So in my course overview, I mentioned Orange Book. So it is also called as Orange Book. What is Orange Book? it is approved drug product with therapeutic equivalence evaluation. So it is published by US FDA. This book is published by US FDA, and in this book there are a list of approved drug products with therapeutic equivalence evaluation. So it contains a list of drug products which are approved on the basis of safety and effectiveness, or we can say efficacy, by the FDA under the Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. Okay. Now coming to 180-day or ANDA exclusivity. So 180-day or ANDA exclusivity is a very important topic for interview point of view. So what is this? Like a first person to file an ANDA, like ANDA is for generic drug, like abbreviated new drug application. So when a first person to file a particular ANDA with a para 4 certification, para 4 is a filing. So we will discuss further what is para 1, para 2, para 3, para 4 filings. So with a para 4 certification gets 180 day, during which no other ANDA filing can be approved for that drug. Okay, so when a first person to file an ANDA with a para 4 certification, they will get 180-day exclusivity for that particular drug. So in that interval, no other person can file that ANDA for that approved drug. Okay, so it could be granted to more than one applicant. Now, coming to the types of ANDA filing, like what are the different types of ANDA filing? So there are 4 types of filing by which we can submit our ANDA, like para 1 filing, para 2, para 3 and para 4. So what is para 1 filing? Para 1 filing is when there is a no listed patent in the Orange Book. Okay, so in the Orange Book, if there is no listed patent, then we will file the para 1. We will file an ANDA by using para 1 filing. Okay, if one or more applicants, so in para 1 filing, one or more applicants may enter, and FDA may approve generic immediately by para 1 filing. Okay, and then para 2 filing, so it is made when the drug is already off patent. So in simple word, we can say the listed patent has expired. So when the listed patent has expired, only then we can use this para 2 filing for submit our ANDA for the generic drugs. Okay, then para 3 filing, so it is when a patent will expire on the particular date, like it is not expire, it will be expire on particular date. So a generic manufacturer will keep away from the market until the patent expires. So when the patent expire, the generic manufacturer will able to file that ANDA via para 3 filing. Okay, then there will be a para 4 filing. Like what is para 4 filing? When a patent is invalid. Okay, when a patent is invalid or will not be infringed by the drug for which approval is being sought, so we can file an ANDA. Okay. Then coming to the CTD and its modules, like what is CTD and its modules? So CTD is a common technical document which is maintained by ICH. So it is a set of specifications or a guidelines for application dossier for registration of a pharmaceutical product. And these specifications are designed to use across Europe, Japan and United States. Okay, so through CTD, quality, safety and efficacy information is assembled or compiled in a common format. So through this CTD format, we can compile the quality, safety and efficacy information in a common format, right? And then CTD format is widely accepted by the regulatory authorities of other countries also, like in US, Europe and Japan is also there, but in other countries also the CTD format is used, like in Australia and Canada. Okay. Then coming to CTD modules. So there are 5 modules of the CTD. Module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So module 1 is not a part of the CTD, and which is also called as the regional administrative information. So module 1 contains regional administrative information, and module 2 contains the it is divided into different parts, like in module 2. So like it contains CTD table of content, then CTD introduction, like common technical document introduction, then quality overall summary, and then non-clinical overviews, non-clinical summary, clinical overviews, and clinical summaries. Okay, so QoS is quality overall summary and TOC is table of content. So this is module 2, and then module 3 describes the quality part. Module 4 is for non-clinical study reports for the safety purpose, and module 5 represents the clinical study reports, which is for the efficacy studies. Okay, so this is the CTD module, complete CTD module. Now, coming to marketing authorization application. So it is basically for the Europe. So it is an application which is filed with the regulatory body of Europe in look for permission to bring a developed pharmaceutical product to the market. So for like it is basically filed in a regulatory body of Europe for bringing permission to develop the pharmaceutical product to the market, like a developed pharmaceutical product to the market. So marketing authorization application can be filed for different things, like it can be filed for a product which contains new chemical compounds, like, or a biological API, active pharmaceutical ingredients, or it can also be filed for a variations to the existing marketing authorization. So if a particular product is already approved in the Europe country, but there is some variations to that particular product, so MAA, marketing authorization application, can also be filed for that. And for the generic products, MAA is also filed. Okay. Then coming to active substance master file. What is active substance master file? So it is similar to DMF, but the main difference is DMF is submitted for US and ASMF is submitted for Europe. So it is submitted to the Drug Regulatory Authority of Europe to provide confidential information of the API, because as the name suggests, active substance, so it provides the confidential information about what? API. So it is a type of DMF and it is recognized term in the Europe, and it is also called as European Drug Master File, and it can be used for the following active substance. Like, what are the different type of active substances for which this the application is filed in that Europe. So the active substances, if the active substance is pharmacopoeial active substance, if it is existing active substance which is not given in the European pharmacopoeia, or if it is a new active substance. Okay, so we can file the active substance master file. Now, coming to the marketing authorization procedure for pharmaceuticals in Europe. So, like, how the product is basically going to the market. So this is the procedure. So firstly, there is the first step is to file the marketing authorization application. Then there will be the RMS and CMS. So what is RMS? RMS is reference member state and CMS is concerned member state. So reference member state is selected by the applicant. So whosoever wants to market a particular product, so they will accordingly in a country, so they will accordingly select the RMS. So RMS is acts as a central point between member state and marketing authorization holder. So it acts as a center point between marketing authorization holder and member state. and it has to prepare the assessment report. So RMS has to prepare the assessment report. So whatever the applicant filed their application, so RMS has to assess and let them know to CMS. Okay, so this MAA, the application going to RMS and CMS. Then the validation of that particular application is conducted by RMS, reference member state. After the validation, there will be the distribution of assessment report, like whatever the RMS assessed in that particular application. So they will distribute the information to CMS, which is concerned member state. So after that, validation of application by CMS. Then there will be another step, validation also, like the CMS also validate that information of the application, and if CMS approves the assessment report, like the assessment report by RMS, so if CMS also approves, so then marketing authorization will be given to the applicant for each CMS, which is concerned member state. So concerned member state is all other member states where the company has submitted the dossier. Okay. Now, so what are the different procedures for drug approval in Europe? Like there are different procedures so that we can market our product in the Europe. So four types of drug approval, four types of procedures in the drug approval: national procedure, mutual recognition procedure, centralized procedure, and decentralized procedure. Now, coming to one by one, national procedure. So, the majority of the medicinal or the drug product are authorized to market in Europe through this procedure. Okay, and each European member state has its own national authorization procedures. Like in Europe, there are so many states. So, in each European member states has its own national authorization procedure, and this national procedure is not in the scope of centralized procedure. This procedure is very specific to particular national procedure. Okay, and the assessment time, like it will take 210 days for their assessment. The particular application they will assess in 210 days. So, for authorization of drug product in several member states, like if the applicant wants to market a product in several member states, so they will file the application by two procedures. First is MRP and second is DCP. So they will file by two procedures, MRP or DCP. So what is mutual recognition procedure? So the medicinal product has already been received in a member state a market authorization at a time of application. So in simple words, we can say it is an application for the products are already licensed in the Europe. Okay, so when the product is already approved in the Europe in a different states, so only then MRP will be considered. So it is based on the medicinal products which are evaluated and approved by RMS, followed by a 90-day period where the CMS consider the RMS assessment report. So CMS is concerned member state and RMS is reference member state, as I already told you. So assessment time for the MRP is 90 days plus 30 days for the national phase. Okay. Then decentralized procedure. So it is to acquire the marketing authorization in several member states, even though there are no marketing authorization has been granted. So in MRP, marketing authorization is compulsory. Okay, so like if one MA is already approved, like if one drug product is already approved by a procedure, national procedure, so MRP will be considered. But if there is no marketing authorization in the Europe area, so decentralized procedure can also be used for the marketing application. So assessment time is 210 days plus 30 days, 30 days for national phase. Now, centralized procedure. So it is only one single marketing authorization application to the European Medicinal Agency. So it is a single marketing authorization, and it gives the transparent evaluation. It do transparent evaluation. Single MA is valid in all European member states, and this procedure is compulsory for most innovative medicines and for including rare diseases, and the assessment time will be 210 days plus time taken by the European Commission decision making process. Okay, now coming to the last slide, last topic, the difference between NDA and ANDA. So what is new drug application and abbreviated new drug application? I already told you. So what are the difference between this? So in NDA it is for application of applicable for new drug, and for ANDA it is applicable for generic drug, and NDA will take longer time as compared to ANDA. So NDA will take 12 to 15 years, while ANDA will take only 1 to 2 years. Okay, so the cost of drug is more in NDA for NDA, and the cost of drug is less for ANDA. So non-clinical and clinical studies are essential for NDA. Okay, but for ANDA these studies are not essential, like non-clinical and clinical studies, but bioavailability or bioequivalence studies are essential. So thank you guys, I hope you like the video. So if you like the video, please subscribe, and please like, please share the video, please don't forget to hit the bell icon for latest notifications. So thank you very much guys, thank you.